Hello and welcome back to Chaos Kitchen with yours truly, McKenna is eating. Today I'm going to show you a one-pot pasta recipe from my heart and soul. It's something I make from time to time. It's super delicious, simple, and everything you'll need is from Trader Joe's. So let's get into it, baby. Okay, I'm going to clear my beautiful presentation because we need to chop some veg. Okay, so first things first, we need to heat up some water on our pan to a boil because the first step will be to boil our pasta noodles. I have been trying to figure out the difference between pasta and noodles for a while now because I get corrected often on my TikTok and I'm still not really sure really what the difference is. If you care to let me know, let me know. I'm getting mixed information. In the meantime, I'm gonna cut our veg. I have some asparagus here. I'm gonna go wash this. I'll be right back. Okay, she's clean. Hopefully. I mean, I don't really know. So for the asparagus, it's very simple. I'm just gonna cut it into about 1.5-inch strips. I'm gonna leave off the end white parts because it can get super tough and it's not good, babes. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna chop our onion. There's really not a lot going on in this pasta. It's so simple, but it does feel fancy and divine. So I'm just gonna dice up a yellow onion. If you wanna learn how to properly dice onions, I would not come to this page. And there we have our nicely little diced onions. Shove her to the side. Next, I'm gonna take this sweet Italian style chicken sausage and we're gonna slice up a couple of these. I think the amount I'll be making today probably yields about 2 servings, depending on how hungry you are, but there might be some leftovers. A lot of the meals I make, I try to make for 2 people because usually it's just me and my boyfriend eating at home, or it's just me, in which case I have a ton of leftovers at all times. And it's very overwhelming to try to shop and cook for 2 people, honestly, because it seems like everything is packaged to be for 4 people. Looks like I need more people in my house to cook for. So I'm just slicing these into about 1/4 inch thick slices and shoving those to the side as well. Next, I'm taking this jar of sun-dried tomatoes in oil. You can use just the dried sun-dried tomatoes, but I like to take some of that oil and drizzle it into the pasta sauce. It just gives it another layer of flavor that I find to be delicious. So I'm gonna take some of these out onto my board. I do like a good amount of these. It really adds a nice little zing into the mix. I'm gonna do about half the jar. And I just like to give these a rough chop, just so I'm not getting big stringy pieces of tomato in my pasta. That's about it for chopping. I will be chopping up some of this basil, but that's not gonna be till the end because basil browns so fast that I don't want it to be sitting and waiting for me because it's just gonna be used as a garnish. All of y'all are gonna sit over here now. Oh God, this feels really sketchy. Okay, I did it. It's fine. Okay, so our water has come to a boil. I'm gonna generously salt it with probably about a tablespoon of salt just to make it as salty as the sea, as the Italians say. I think the Italians say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like the comment section of this page to really just be correcting me constantly on my techniques and things that I'm saying and doing because I feel like I'm always wrong. So I'm gonna take our pappardelle pasta. I'm gonna slip it right into that boiling water. I believe this only cooks for a very short amount of time, 6 to 7 minutes. I'll see you then. What the freak am I gonna do in the meantime? Trader Joe's, I love you so. It's cone, a big lump it knobs. It has the juice. Let it be known that you can use a bigger pot than me and have a more appropriate amount of water. Why do I always seem to do this? I always seem to not put enough water in my pasta. It's like a personality trait of mine. Because even when you cook Kraft mac and cheese, it says like, use 6 cups of water. And I'm like, I'm not using any more than 3 cups, girl. It's like there's barely any water left for this to boil in. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I think it's been about 6 minutes. I'm gonna reserve some of the pasta water. I could make this a lot easier and do it over the sink, but I wanted to show you guys me reserving pasta water. I've got a little noodle in there. No, we're not doing British. Anywho, I've got some pasta water reserved to the side. I'm gonna go strain this in the colander and we're gonna move on. I forgot the water goes underneath. Okay, we're gonna heat this back to like a medium-high heat and drizzy a little bit of olive oil into the pan. Since the pan's already hot from boiling stuff, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in our sausages as well as our onions. Gonna just start mixing everything around, and we just want this all to brown and get a nice little crisp on the sausage and cook down those onions. I'm gonna throw in a little extra olive oil and just stir kind of constantly at first. Then I'm just gonna pop a lid on her and let those onions soften, let those sausages crisp for like probably about a minute or two before I stir her again. Oh yeah, I can smell those onions starting to cook off. Everything's starting to get nice and a little bit brown. I'll just kind of keep repeating the process of stirring, letting it brown, covering it, and I'm keeping it at like a consistent medium to high heat this whole time. Oh yeah, see those sausages are starting to get a nice little browning on them. The onions are getting nice and translucent. Can you see me through this steam, or is it not showing up on camera like it is in real life? Bet you didn't think I could do this. Yeah, I know how to shimmy a pan or two every once in a while. Wow, it's getting really hot in here because I can't use my air conditioning while I film because it's too loud. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I'd rather keep it quiet for y'all. It's time to send my boyfriend my honorary pic of the day when I'm recording my YouTube video. Oh, that one's actually cute this time. All right, I think this is gonna be our final round. Oh yeah, those are getting a nice color. Ooh, it smells so freaking good in here right now, y'all. I'm gonna warn you that if the sausage gets too crispy, it gets kind of tough and it gets like, it grows the skin or something. And now I'm gonna take some minced garlic. You know, I'm not a big garlic girl, but for some reason in this pasta that I make specifically, it just works. Okay, now we're gonna grab those sun-dried tomatoes that we prepped earlier and throw them in to the pot. And like I told you guys, I like to drizzle a little bit of the sun-dried tomato oil in there as well and just mix everything. The thing about the sun-dried tomatoes is that they don't need to cook very long, and if you cook them too long, like if you put them in the beginning, they're just gonna kind of disintegrate and become nothing. I've done that one too many times and I usually don't learn my lesson, but this time around I am doing it in the correct order. So the order in which we're adding our veg and everything does matter in this circumstance. So now after about a minute of those sun-dried tomatoes cooking, I'm gonna add in our asparagus. When the asparagus gets overcooked, it's just not good. It just becomes mush. Don't overcook your asparagus either. Still on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna cover everything up for a minute or two, just for that asparagus to soften. And real quick, I'm gonna take some of our basil. Oh, that smells delicious. Anywho, I'm gonna take some of this basil and I'm gonna just cut it into nice thin strips while everything finishes cooking off. Perfect, looks beautiful. Things sound like they're going a little crazy in there. Let's check on her. Oh yeah. Yes, girl. Check on these asparagus and how they're cooking. Oh yeah, perfect. Everything is done cooking down. We're gonna do our sauce, which is super quick and simple. I have some heavy whipping cream that I'm just gonna drizzle over the top of everything. I'm probably gonna use this whole container. And we're gonna drizzle some of that reserved pasta water into it as well. Gonna use a bunch of garlic powder on there as well. And then lastly, I have some fresh grated parm that I'm just gonna pour a good amount on the top. Yes. And I'm gonna lower the heat now to a medium low and just stir all of this up. Girl. It's the most simplest sauce ever, but it's so delicious. I feel like people always try to overcomplicate things in the kitchen, and you know, you can get a really good product with minimal ingredients. For the heck of it, I'm just gonna throw in the rest of that pasta water. I like the pasta water because the heavy whipping cream dries out on its own pretty quickly and it becomes like this dry, chalky texture, so I feel like the pasta water helps in keeping it liquidy, I guess? I don't know. That's my experience. Let me get a little taste of how that is. OMG. That is so freaking good. I have my salt out here, but you actually don't need any salt because remember how salty we made the pasta water? That is what seasons everything. I am notoriously an oversalter, but I'm trying to get better. Now is the final part where we just take our pasta that we had cooked before and pour it in. It's gonna kind of be stuck together, which I should have like drizzled oil on it or something to avoid that, but it should come apart pretty nicely. So we start stirring everything together in the pot. The sauce will kind of separate the noodles in there. This is at capacity. This pot is full right now. And everything is just gonna marry together in this one pot Trader Joe's pasta. This is just one of my favorite pastas that I make. And honestly, surprisingly, it's like a really good summer pasta. I know it seems heavy, but there's this certain lightness to it that is delicious on a hot summer day. I serve it up sometimes with just like a sliced tomato caprese with fresh garlic and basil on the top. Looks like we have the perfect amount of sauce in there. I'm gonna cut the heat. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This sounds so good right now. She looks so lovely. Oh my God, it doesn't even look real. It looks like fake pasta. Girl, you can't tell me that doesn't look so delicious. I'm just gonna finish it with some extra parm on top. You can never have too much parm. Throw a little bit of basil, our fresh chopped basil on top as well. And now she is complete. A one-pot Trader Joe's pasta, super simple, takes about 20 minutes start to finish. This is one of my boyfriend's favorite meals that I make. It's so delicious, I promise you. You're gonna love it so much. All right, I'm gonna serve myself up a nice little bowl. Oh, look how good that looks, you guys. Some extra sauce. Oh, hello. Hello? Girl, you're gonna die over this. It's the bomb. I got my little bowl right here. I need to get a fork. Alrighty, I have my final bite. I'm very excited about this. Look at this perfect ooey gooey cheesy bite that I got. Oh, baby, you get the first bite. Have a bite. I think this might be the best batch I've ever made. Everything is cooked perfectly. I didn't oversalt, which is a huge feat for me. You've got to make this. Are you for real? I made this? I'm sweating bullocks out here. As always, please comment below any suggestions you have for what you want to see me make. Okay, love you guys. I'm gonna go feed my boyfriend now.